What is up, everybody? This is the Wild Nutrition Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Heskett, and this is episode 44. We are here with another Unapologetic Friday, which means things are going to be unfiltered, uncensored. I'm less brain dead than last week, so this should be a little bit better. But if this is your first one, I don't edit the shit. I curse a whole bunch and I kind of just wing it. I set a timer for 15 minutes. I almost always go over, but I'm going to try to keep it to that 15-minute time frame. If you have listening in the car and you have kids there and you don't want them to hear curse words, I would recommend going to Monday's episode, even though every episode there's cursing. So, with that being said, let's get the timer started. 15 minutes on the clock. Today's topic is you don't need more nutrition knowledge. You need to take action. You don't need to learn more about nutrition. People will say this. I don't know what to eat. The fuck you don't. We've been taught since we were little, like protein, whole grains, veggies, fruit, nuts. Like we're taught these things. You already know what the fuck to eat. Like if it comes from an animal, comes from the ground, and it's not really hyper processed, it's fine. Stop making nutrition difficult and stop using this mindset of I don't know what to eat, so I'm not going to take any action, and I'm unhappy and I'm stuck with where I'm at. Like if you're unhappy, why aren't you doing anything to get out of your situation? You know what to eat. Why aren't you eating veggies? Like lunch and dinner, why aren't there any veggies on your plate? There are. Okay, great. Why are you just eating like way too much in terms of portion control? What's the issue? You know what to eat already. You already know it. And yes, there's all the bullshit. And usually I have to unpack this with clients of like the low carb and the vegan and the carnivore and this and that. And then generally we know like humans eat a mixed diet, balance of protein, carbs, and fats. Guess where that's going to be found? It's going to be found in the foods you're already eating. I don't like to cook, Chris. There's easier ways to make it. You know what protein sources are. Like people will still say, I don't know what a good protein is. If I challenge you right now, I bet you $100, tell me 5 protein sources. You could tell me. Then if you say peanut butter, you're wrong. But if I told you right now, tell me 5 protein sources, you're already fucking know. You could tell me 5 different protein sources for $100. If I tell you, hey, tell me 5 sources of carbohydrates that are healthy, you could tell me 5 sources. I bet you right now you could do it. $100 on the line. This is not a real bet. This is a podcast. So don't email me like, where's my $100? Like it's a podcast. It's a challenge. Do the fucking challenge. Fats. You could tell me sources of fat. You can do it. And it doesn't need to be perfect. You're never going to be like very few people, unless you're like one of the like the Ben Greenfields of the world, the Paul Saladinos, you're not going to be perfect with your diet, nor is that necessarily your goal. Like if you've always been struggling with food, with being all in or all out and this perfectionist mindset, then perfect isn't the route you want to go. You want to give yourself flexibility. I fucking love ice cream. I love chocolate. Pizza's fucking delicious. And throughout summer, I will be eating tacos most days of the week. You should be in a position to allow yourself those foods. If you're going on a diet and you're like, I fucking love tacos, but my diet says I can't have flour or corn, so I'm never going to have tacos again because I can't have the shells. I'll have a taco salad. That sounds amazing. Is that a replacement? Sorta, but no, you're gonna have fucking tacos because you like them. They taste delicious. You can have those fucking foods on a diet, unless it causes severe GI issues. If you're having GI issues from gluten or corn, then yeah, no, you can't really. We can try to do some like gluten-free taco shells and stuff, but you're going to eventually have them. That's the point. You're going to have those foods, and it shouldn't be like, oh no, I had a quote unquote bad food, I'm out. And there's plenty of things online now that you see like the eat this, not that thing, or like the unhealthy versus healthy. And it's like smoothie bowl, 850 calories. You think it's 300. And it's like Snickers bar, 250 calories. What you would say smoothie bowl, it's healthy, it's great. And it's like, there's 120 grams of sugar in that. And then the Snickers bar, oh, that was awful. That ruined my entire day. I actually gained weight because I ate that and I'm fucked. I'll start next Monday. It's Tuesday. You can start next meal. But that's what you do. You do that week in and week out. So the point here, you already know what to eat. You need to stop waiting for this magically perfect diet. I have a few people who still message me and they're like, I need to join coaching. I need you to help me. And then they jump in. And I'm like, we're doing the same diet. Like, we need to work on different things, but we're going to do the same diet. They're like, I thought things would change. I'm like, what? Chicken breast is still going to be on the menu. We're still going to eat carbs. You thought like magically I was going to go keto? Fuck that. We're not doing that. We're going to. So I thought we would get more specific. You can't even do this. Why would I add extra stress in your life? Like, you are already stressed the fuck out. You can barely handle anything, and you're not even eating 3 times a day. You're like eating one meal and then you're grazing from like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You're like having random bullshit. Like, we should just eat 3 times a day with some protein and veggies and whatever else. Doesn't matter that much, but stop the grazing. Way easier than like follow this exact macro plan. Doesn't it sound like that? It's just like, hey, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, not like, hey, fit everything, like play jigsaw and fit everything within this. Because you know what happens when you eat a structured breakfast, lunch, and dinner? When we do switch to like tracking macros, you can calculate your average day and get a baseline of where you're at. And then if you're off on any of them, of your macros, then you just adjust a little bit. Oh, I'm a little low in carbs. I'm a little high on fat. So I'm just going to adjust them, which actually, when we start tracking macros, we don't even bother with that. It's just calories and protein. But I'm over in calories. Okay, where are you over? I'm doing 2 snacks a day and they're kind of large. Okay, you can do 2 smaller snacks or one large snack per day. Do what fits best. What do you prefer? Um, I'm really under on protein. I'm way over on carbs. Okay, so with your meals, we need to up the protein and we need to decrease the carbs. But that's way easier to do once you have a structured system, and that's just eating 3 times a day and maybe a snack or two in there. It's not the perfect, like, cut broccoli. And this is a real thing, guys. I think it was, no, it wasn't broccoli. I believe it's onions. It's like, cut onions 20 minutes before cooking them, let them sit out, and it will increase the amount of antioxidants in there. Is it true? Yes. Is it realistic? Fuck no. I'm like cutting that shit up and getting it in the pan because I have a hungry daughter who is ready to eat, and dinner better be on the table by 6:30, or every parent's going to know this. And she starts stomping her feet and getting all cranky, and then she's like throwing shit around. Like, dinner needs to be on the table at 6:30. Oh, sorry, dinner's late. Daddy had to leave the onions out for 20 minutes. Like, that's the shit you're like worrying about, but that is what you're worrying about. You're worrying about shit like that doesn't make a big difference. We worry about the shiny, bullshitty stuff. And is there a point to it? Yes. Technically, those onions are healthier. There's more of these antioxidants in there. Technically, if we balance the meal and get all the perfect ratios of vitamins and minerals, like balance our diet perfectly, we would get everything. But you know what the reality is? Most people, possibly you, are not eating enough protein, not eating enough fiber, not eating enough fruits and veggies, not drinking enough water, and drinking probably too much alcohol. And we should probably start with that. A great way is just eating 3 times a day and maybe a high protein snack in there. That's where you want to start. It's like, there's nothing about like fancy nutrition in that. It's really fucking boring. But if you're not doing it, why are we going to that next level? That next level is going to overwhelm you. You don't have a foundation to actually go to the next level. You have nothing. There is no foundation. If you're just like winging it each day and you have no way to build a meal. So one thing we want to do in that, first phase where we're just trying to like eat 3 times a day. And if you are like, great, but how do you build your meals? Like, what's the protein in there? What's the carb in there? And what's the veggie in there? Like, there's the 3 components. Is there more to that in a recipe? Yes. But if you need to build a meal right now, like you have no idea, pretend you don't know what you're having for dinner. And maybe you don't. So if you don't know, this will be great for you. So, what protein are you having? Start with the protein. That's where people struggle, especially women. Uh, what protein are you having for dinner tonight? Answer the question. Is it shrimp? Is it turkey? Is it fish? Is it beef? Is it pork? Is it chicken? Like, what the fuck is it? Pick it. Whatever it is. What do you have in the freezer? What's in the fridge right now? Do you have to run out and grab anything? But what is the thing you're going to have tonight? Great. What's the carb going with it? Is it pasta? Is it potatoes? Is it sweet potatoes? Is it rice? Is it quinoa? Um, are you doing a fruit salad with it? Like, what is going with it? And then what's the veggie? Broccoli, radishes, carrots. Anyone who says carrots are too high in sugar should shove a carrot up their ass. Celery, salad greens, tomatoes. The list can mushrooms. We can go on and on with the shit. But it's what are those three components for the meal, and then make a meal from it. I don't know what to make. Cool. Nobody complains about pasta. Make fucking pasta. By the way, I just realized this the other day. Because of my issues with my digestive health, we only eat pasta that's imported from Italy. They use like different wheat over there and doesn't fuck up my stomach. So I just realized the whole grain Italian pasta is actually lower in calories. It's higher in protein, but the protein's gluten, guys. So it's not a great protein source, but it's actually lower in calories. I was like, oh shit, I can actually have more of this while I'm on diet because right now, as I'm recording this, I'm on 18 fucking hundred calories and it's really awful. I'm really hungry right now. So you want to figure that out. And once you figure that out, like that's how you build out each meal. Just those three components. You can get fancier than that. But if you're not even doing that, if you're focusing on like what's the spice I'm going to use in the meal, like that's not helping you at all. You're stuck. But once you figure out how to get unstuck, like, hey, maybe I should eat 3 times a day. And then how do I build a meal? There's the 3 steps right there. Boom, boom, boom. 3 steps: protein, veggie, carb, and meal. We don't do no carb meals. It usually doesn't work out very well for you. No carb meal would be like a no. I would say if I have like a quote unquote no carb meal, it's never no carb. It's instead of a starch, I have a fruit, which is still carbs, but some people would consider that no carb, um, which is just silly. So once you do that, then you can start tracking your protein and your calories, see where you fit in. Then you can go into full macro tracking after that. But you need to give yourself time for consistency, which is why we don't have people do that right away. We give them like, hey, do this consistently for weeks, not days, not like figure this out tonight and then you can start full macro tracking tomorrow. Like you might overwhelm yourself. Like maybe we just start like if you're struggling, why don't we just start eating 3 times a day? You haven't done that in 5 years. Why are you going to fix it in one night? You can fix it in one night. You're going to literally be surviving off of motivation. And we know that motivation is going to disappear in 3 to 6 weeks. And then what happens? Oh, just like last time, you're going to lose motivation, go back to your old habits, get burnt out, spiral down this unhealthy pathway because you tell yourself you suck. And we don't want to go that route. We want to avoid that, like create permanent change. That's the whole reason we're here. I'm here doing this podcast. You're here listening to it. Create permanent health change for the better so you can have more energy, so you can lose the weight finally, so you can stop needing to diet all the time. And Monday's podcast, if you're struggling with the mindset stuff, just stay tuned for Monday's podcast because awesome guest on Jared Hamilton, literally recorded right before this one. It's going to be amazing. So stay tuned for that one. I'm not going to go into mindset because you're going to get that Monday. So listen to this, implement this shit over the weekend, and then listen to that and implement everything we go over on Monday starting next week. But you need to stop thinking, I need more information. This was me as a person. Like, I needed more information. I need to learn more exercise so I can be a good coach. I need to learn more about leadership so I can be a good leader. I need to learn more. Like, fuck no. You need to take action. Yes, there needs to be a certain knowledge base, but after like the basics, like learn as you go. Like, figure out what works, what doesn't, and where you're lacking knowledge, and then start implementing. Do I still research nutrition to this day? Yes, I am. But that doesn't stop me from nutrition coaching. I'm still learning about nutrition, but I'm coaching because I can learn. And this is what I used to do, like, oh, I'm going to learn about how we can implement this protocol with nutrition to get optimized results. And then it's like, cool, real world. That doesn't fucking work. Person's not going to implement it. You know what they need to do? Eat 3 times a day because they're not doing that. Why would we try to do a perfectly balanced protocol, eating protein perfectly spaced out 4 times a day with the exact amount of carbs for them to grow and retain their muscle mass or grow muscle or retain muscle in a dieting phase? Why would we do that when there is no consistency? That's the problem. There's a timer. That was where I was at. And that's where you're kind of focusing. You're kind of focusing on the shiny object syndrome shit. And it's not actually serving you. It's not helping you in any capacity. All it's doing is distracting you from the basic boring work that you're not doing. You're like, oh, keto, I'll jump on that. That doesn't work because you never build consistency. Oh, fasting, I'll do that. And yet during fasting, you either never build consistency or you just eat way too much in the eating window because you have a really unhealthy relationship with food and you don't stick with it for more than, say, like 3 weeks. Oh, what's another one? Plant based, not going to work. We're just going to throw that out there. Oh, I'll go carnivore. Everyone who does carnivore and usually ends up going back. Like, you're not building consistency with any of these. You just need to build consistency first with the boring shit. And then once you do that, it's going to go into that next level where you can actually start to get into the nitty gritty. But the nitty gritty doesn't matter because you're building a house of cards if you jump into that and one tiny ass breeze comes along, it's going to knock it all down. And that's you spiraling out of control again. You're burnt out, no motivation to continue, no discipline. All your habits were built on motivation, so they're not actually habits. And then you give up. Like, you stop going to the gym, you stop tracking your food, you stop doing the diet, you start giving in more. So if you're trying to avoid eating after 8 p.m., which I still see that bullshit, there's no reason you have to. I need to stop eating after 8 p.m. Cool. When do you go to bed? 11. When do you get hungry? 10 o'clock every night. Why the fuck are you trying to stop eating when you're hungry every night and you can't stand going to bed hungry? Why? I heard it's good for you. From who? Where? Because I see the research, and the research says it makes no difference. So why the fuck are you doing that? Oh, it's just an excuse. You like the self-fulfilling prophecy of like, oh, I'm going to do this thing and then I'm not going to work. So nothing works for me. Yes, it does. You're just not consistent with it. It works for 3 weeks, but then you're not consistent with it. So we talk about identity and self-fulfilling prophecy and self-sabotage on Monday. So pay attention to that episode. I'm not going to go into it now because that's a almost hour-long episode. So Monday's episode is going to be really powerful, but this episode is going to kind of tie into that one of you don't need more knowledge. You just need to take action. That's the first step. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go do a cleanse or anything else. You need to take action. You need to take action on the basics. Get to the gym like 2 to 3 times a week. Work out, or let's rephrase that. Don't even have to get to the gym. Just work out 2 to 3 times a week. Not sure where to start? Start by walking. Start by doing the rucking guide. You know what? Just to get you started, rucking guide will be posted down below. 12 weeks. It's built out for you. Go down below. Links there. Grab it for free. So rucking guide, do that. Or the 5-day, actually, you know what? 5-day faster fat loss course would be down below too. And that'll help you get started and literally teach you how to build out all the shit for you. So that's also free. That'll be linked down below. I'm going to have to write this down so I don't forget to put the rucking guide in. But that's all done for you. So just go and click that and get it, and you're good to go. What was I saying? Basics. Okay. So work out 2 to 3 times a week. Nutrition. Eat 3 times a day. Every meal has a protein, some sort of carb, and a vegetable in there. And if someone argues with me that veggies are carbs, I am going to smack you. We're talking about actually getting a decent amount of carbs, like from a starch or a fruit, and not the 3 grams of carbs in a carrot. Um, by the way, when people are saying carrots are too high in sugar, it's like, do you know how many carrots you have to eat? You have to be a fucking rabbit. It's like 3 grams or 5 grams per carrot, like big carrot, not baby carrots, big carrot. Like that's it. And then your body actually has to absorb it because if it's cooked carrots, it's easy for your body to break down. But guess what? You know, like how like when you poop corn, you see corn and it's not all digested. Yeah, carrots. Guess what? If you eat raw carrot, yeah. Anyways, so there's that. Start with the basic shit before you dive into anything else. You just need to do those things. And if you can't do that, nothing else will matter. Nothing else matters because you just need to start with the basics and start changing your identity, which we talk about Monday. Start changing those things. And then once you have a shift in your mindset, you get the frameworks down for the basics. Then real change will happen because now you're building discipline and you don't need motivation anymore. And that's the power of it. That's where you want to be. If you're relying on motivation, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. You will never stick with it long enough. And if that's you right now, I'm sorry. Message me. I will help you out. We don't want to rely on motivation because it will never work long term. You cannot, can you lose weight while motivated? Yes. Guess what? Will it stay off? It's not going to stay off. Guess what? And so this is why I don't do three-month contracts anymore with our coaching program because people would come on, they would be super motivated, and we would just start to get really good results, and then they'd be like, "I'm not motivated anymore. I'm going to stop." It's like, no, 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 no. Like, well, we're halfway to your result. Nope, I'm good. Like, and then follow up, and they're like, "I gained the 15 pounds back." I'm like, I know. Like, okay, this is disservice to people. 6 months minimum. Like, that's what it takes to like actually maintain your results. Anyways, time's up. So thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, make sure if this resonated with you, reach out, let me know, leave a review, give it 5 stars, but definitely leave a review because I do read those. Check out the links down below. We are going to start opening up a few slots for one-on-one coaching in May. So you are more than welcome to click that link down below if you want to apply for coaching. But please be serious. This is not like, I just want to learn about you and see what you're all about. Like, please don't do that. If you want to do that, follow my content, message me on social media. If you're ready to get coaching, you know you need a coach, you know you need to take things to that next level. That's what the coaching application is for. Do not do it if you're not serious because I don't want to waste your time. That's it. Happy fucking Friday. Enjoy your weekend and go kill it out there, guys.